here feels busy? As in constantly chasing your tail, trying to get on top of a never-ending to-do list between work stuff that is always hectic and seems to be getting more so, between caring responsibilities of children or family, between hobbies and trying to do all of the things you know that you're meant to do around engaging in your community and having time for yourself, so much so that your time for yourself feels pressured to desperately enjoy it so much because you needed it so badly that in fact you don't enjoy it as much because you spend the whole time worrying that you're not having downtime sufficiently. Yeah. And then you've got life admin, you've got the car that needs servicing, you've got that thing that broke, you've got to chase some people for a quote on that, you've got to get your dentist appointment in and get your kids to some other thing. If you are in the very, very large group of people who are constantly part of what we're calling the busyness epidemic, you are in good company. There is strong data the world over that people feel busier than they've ever felt before, and that it's starting to become a bit of a cycle. And unfortunately, it is a bit of a toxic cycle because we get stuck in this mindset of how many things we need to finish and how much we need to complete. And we create this vibe, both for ourselves and the people around us, of this hustle, constantly trying to hustle more and more and more. So this short video is hopefully just going to touch on why is it a bad thing? And then what are we going to do about it? Short, sweet, actionable, real life stuff that you can do in the day-to-day. So why is it a bad thing to always be busy? And why do we need to reassess what we say when people ask us, how are you? And we say busy or overwhelmed or slammed or whatever synonym you can come up with on the day. The issue becomes that it is a toxic spiral whereby the adrenaline and the cortisol levels become a bit addictive. And then we don't know how to not do it anymore. And when we do try to take that downtime, which we've crammed into this little gap, and we're so determined to take every ounce of benefit from this downtime that we can't take any of the benefit from it because we're too busy worrying about if our downtime is productive enough downtime. So we can't get out of that spiral once we're in it. It's like an addiction to anything else, whether it's to gambling or alcohol. It's that the adrenaline spikes and the need that it fills in our life becomes something that without it, we start to feel a bit uncomfortable. And we start to be like, oh, what's wrong? Oh, I'm not doing anything. I don't feel like I've got anything. I better go check my to-do list and my third to-do list. And we become fixated with this cycle of how productive can you be? And then we try to use our downtime to be more productive. And that's a pointless spiral, right? If we are only ever taking time to ourselves so that we can do more in the other time, that's not a good reason to take care of yourself, right? So that you can do more for others. I mean, it sort of is, but you get my point. So other than the fact that it is a spiral and it is addictive, we also have the issue that the more we buy into it, the more we believe it, right? So your body basically is designed from an evolutionary perspective towards confirmation bias. We all know that. The algorithms on Facebook tell us that. The way the world is designed, once you've bought a red Suzuki, you see red Suzukis all over the place, yes? So confirmation bias is something we're already pretty attuned to. When it is something that we have said, something that we are feeling, the confirmation bias is like a billionfold. Basically, if we say, I am busy, or I am stressed, or I am overwhelmed, we are pre-programmed to believe that even more every single time that we hear it. So what happens is that we get into this sucking down spiral of nastiness that every time we say it, we get a little bit more tense, we get a little bit more anxious, and we all know what long-term cortisol's gonna do to us, guys. A little bit of busy, great for you. A day of hectic, great for you. An extended period of time of working at your peak performance, great for you. But when we are in that mode where our body is responding as if we are hectic and we are in adrenaline mode for an extended period of time, that becomes really, really bad for you health-wise, okay? But thirdly, I really want to make sure that we're all aware that if we're all saying busy, then the people around you buy more and more into this kind of one-up-manship around how busy are we and who's more busy. But I've taken less lunch breaks this week, or I was here so late last night. And it becomes this culture where everybody feels the pressure to be part of this busyness. And if we don't have the balls for someone to go, no, actually, I had a pretty good day. No, actually, I achieved a lot today and I feel good about it. Then who is it that's going to break the spiral? Who is it that is going to help you in your workplace or your colleagues or your family take a deep breath and go, it's okay to have a bit of downtime. It's okay. Because if you've got a new staff member or you've got kids who look up to you and all you're ever talking about is busy, and they're kind of going, oh, I actually had a fairly cruisy day. Oh gosh, now I feel bad. And oh, am I lazy? Oh, is there something wrong with me because I don't feel busy? So we need to cut it off at the head, okay? We need to actually start taking responsibility for our part in the fact that we have created this nasty spiral that we can't seem to get out of. So I am not saying that your to-do list is not impossibly long. I am saying, in fact, that your to-do list is so impossibly long that you need to just accept that you can't get it done. You need to go, okay, if there's still going to be 15 things left on my to-do list when I go to bed tonight, what's the difference if there's 16 things? Or if there's still going to be 30 animals waiting for me tomorrow, there may as well be 32. It's really about trying to go, if it is impossible to get through the list of things you have in the amount of time you have, which for many of us it really, really is, which of those things are just gonna not get done? And start to get comfortable with that. Start to be okay with the fact that your list is impossible. And there really is only one definition of impossible. And you don't have to do the impossible. You just have to do what you can. And that has to be enough. And having conversations with the people around you about what it is that you're not going to do that well. So which things are most important to you to do well? And it might be parenting. It might be really conscientious, excellent work. It might be the hobbies or the social things that you're engaged with, or the, committees that you're on, all of those sorts of things. Whichever one of those you want to do well and is really genuinely important to you that you do top notch, and you do more of that, that's fine. And then you have a conversation with the people around you that, hey, this month I'm getting someone in to do the cleaning, or I can't afford to get somebody in to do the cleaning. So this month, either the family's pitching in more, or it's fine. We're just going to run the dishwasher twice. Okay. Or we're going to use the dryer a lot this month. Oh, okay, no, this month I really want to focus on my family, and I really want to get on top of, having those connections and being part of the home life. And we have conversations with the committee that we're on. Sorry, I can't make it, or I'm going to make it, but I'm not going to be able to do those tasks that you needed me to do. Okay, so starting to accept, as long as we can communicate clearly and we can accept up front that we cannot do it all, then we make better decisions about which things we have to get done. Unfortunately, what most of us do when we're really under pressure is we do the little things that don't feel like they put too much pressure on us. And unfortunately, they're usually not the important things. We do the tiny little life admin things because it feels like something we can achieve and we can cope with right now. And that's not 100% a bad strategy to just do a thing when you're feeling overwhelmed. But equally, what it does is we spend our time doing all of those little things and then not remembering to prioritize the bigger stuff. So, other than actually having to change your mindset and come to terms with the fact that you cannot do all the things, the other thing I really want you to start focusing on is the words that you choose. Okay, if you are in the cohort of billions of people who, when they're asked, how's your week going, they go busy or some synonym of busy as their first point of call, then I really want you to challenge yourself and the people around you about that. Because remember that spiral internally, every time you say it, you believe it even more. So we're going to really try to start challenging that. What that means is when someone asks you how you are, does the conversation have to be around how busy you are? Do we have to buy into this one-upmanship or this kind of proving ourselves of how valuable we are because of how busy we are? Why don't we just talk about something else? Hey, how are you today? Oh, I'm really hungry. Hey, how are you today? Oh, yeah, I'm okay, but I've got a bad back. What can we talk about that has nothing to do with your to-do list? Nothing to do with, having to be part of proving that you are worthwhile because you have so many things that you need to get done. Okay, so first option, if you can, just choose a different conversation. All right, why does everything always have to be about this spiral? If that's not possible, if actually when somebody asks you how you are, busy has to be the thing that you're talking about, then I want you to choose busy and. I want you to think about what word comes after the busy that makes it worthwhile to you, that shows that you thought about that busyness and you chose to put that effort in where you put it in. So busy but productive. Busy but I saved a life today. Busy but I'm so pleased I went into my kids' school assembly because the look on her face when she saw me in the crowd was worth that. What thing did you contribute to the world with your busyness that makes it worthwhile? Why was it worth being busy? Yeah. If you can't do either of those things, if you can't change the conversation and you can't make it, what did you contribute to the world with your busyness? Then I want you to say busy but. Busy, but I have a break coming up. Busy, but I'm really looking forward to seeing friends for dinner tonight. Busy, but I've talked to my manager about it and I've booked some annual leave for next week. What are you doing about it? Because if you can't find a way to change the conversation or to make it about something that you did that you're proud of and that you are pleased that you spent your time on, then you really need to start thinking about what are your solutions to that? What are you going to do to break out of this cycle and cut it off at the head? And if none of those things feel possible for you, if you can't change the topic, if you can't say what you did with it and you can't say what you're doing about it, then I recommend you get help, that you talk to people who you trust to, push you and to challenge you, or you speak to your mental health professional, or you speak to your boss about, I'm not okay because I can't reframe this at all and I cannot get out of this cycle. All right. Just by simply choosing different words and different conversations can go a long way to reducing this spiral. All right, the other things that we can do is really try to, be mindful in the times that we do have downtime about not making it about productive downtime. Okay, downtime for the sake of downtime. I personally have what I call Sunday sloth days, and on Sundays we walk the dog and we don't achieve anything else. If I do the dishes, I'm doing well. Sundays are my day where I don't have to feel bad. I don't have to feel like I contributed to the world. I literally just have downtime scheduled into my week because it's important and there doesn't have to be a reason for it other than that. All right. Lastly, there's a couple of great books. There's great resources out there that you can find on this space. It's becoming a real topic. My favorite is Oliver Burkeman. He has some short articles, The Busyness, Addicted to Busy, that's what it's called. And he has this wonderful book called 4,000 Weeks, which, tongue-in-cheek refers to itself as a time management book, but spends the whole time talking about how time management and productivity techniques are the worst thing that ever happened to us, because all it does is helps you be more productive so that you can fit more things on your to-do list. It doesn't actually solve the problem of the fact that we don't have time to do it all, because there will always be more to do. So it really is about trying to reframe, what things do you want to have spent your time on? If you only have 4,000 weeks available to you, how are you going to prioritize that time? I highly recommend them. It's actually my favorite book of all time. That was it from me. I hope you enjoyed this not that short episode of another thing you had to fit into your to-do list this week. I hope you used your procrastination time very well and that you got something out of it that might help you feel just a little bit less hectic for the rest of the day and hopefully the rest of the week. Have a great one.